In this video, we're going to be talking about the DJI Ronin 4D and the 4D Flex. So our setup today, we're going to be running a dual operator setup. So I've got the DJI transmission system on here, of course with their high bright monitor and the joysticks. We take off the actual brain of the camera and put it on the high bright monitor for that use case. Some reasons why I chose the Ronin 4D for my use case in the backcountry. I used to use a RS2 Pro paired with a Panasonic camera that I have. There were some difficulties with that, with lack of tracking as well as lack of dual operator setup. So it was a challenge to actually frame properly. I never really saw what my framing was like. I was kind of just out there shooting in the dark, if you would say. So this camera has been such a unique buy for me. It does all of the things that I need it to, all in one package. It's got the added fourth axis of stabilization. So within the action sports world, you know, sometimes we're, you know, bashing around. To have that added fourth axis has been a game changer to just gather some pretty smooth cinematic shots for me, as well as the dual operator setup. I can bring another filmer on board and they can basically just double check, make sure the framing's proper. They have capability of controlling all the camera settings, lighting on the fly. So that's been amazing as well, where before I was just kind of, again, sort of just shooting in the dark, setting up a shot, setting up my lighting, and then just kind of spray and pray. So there's a few ways that I use this camera. One is this custom follow cam backpack mount system that I kind of designed. It's a little bit of a like ready rig style thing, but it's a solid mount. I didn't need the camera moving around at all at the end of this. So that's one way. The other benefit of this camera, it's just a simple handheld on the side of the sled, or just even handheld if I'm doing some just static shots. It's a great camera for that as well. And then, like I said, we're gonna be using the 4D Flex today. So that allows the head of the camera to come off. You still have 3-axis stabilization, and it's just a lot less payload on like the end of my follow cam rig, or even handheld. I have a little handheld flex system as well. So yeah, those are a few ways that I use this camera. It's definitely a challenge to use this while sledding. I've been sledding for the past like 8 years, and my ability to sled, my technique has definitely made this a lot easier on me, but nonetheless it's challenging. It's not like I can sled like I normally would with this thing dangling in front of me. I put a little bit of a counterweight in my backpack and this thing on the end. I have 2 setups, but with the battery pack on the back, I believe it's just shy of 10 pounds. So it is fairly heavy, but I also have the R2 battery pack, and I can power this thing just through a cable, and I have that set up in my backpack. So it just reduces the weight a little bit more. And today I'm not gonna be using that, just because I'm gonna be switching around the camera setup so much with the Flex, handheld, and on the follow cam rig, the full setup. So I kind of just wanted it to be a little bit faster use case today, and that's what we're doing. One really cool thing that DJI offers for, you know, it's not just this device, it's a number of their gimbals. It's a little GPS device, and what that does is just, gimbals tend to drift, especially when you're moving fast or accelerating fast. They don't quite know how fast they're going, so you get what's called gimbal drift, and you typically start with like a horizon shift. Your level won't be quite level. They've come out with these GPS devices for their gimbals specifically. It sort of acts like it does in the drone, and that's how the drones are obviously so steady as well. So this just helps keep the gimbal level. Yeah, so DJI offers this GPS device online, of course. It comes with this cheese plate, and I've just kind of mounted it on the top of my follow cam, of course, just for best GPS signal. And then for the 4D anyways, the specific 4D setup, you need to get the right, it's like a right hand grip, just adapter that this plugs into. So you just have to plug it into the right side hand grip where that goes, and the camera kind of just senses that it's there and it automatically picks up the GPS. So there's a variety of top handles that you can get for this this system. I went with the Vaxis top handle. It's very versatile in mounting points. You can slide this tube around whichever way you want. So my anti-vibration dampener on here is made by Tilta. It's actually a very cheap part. It was like an updated part for one of their black arm systems. I think it was only like $100, so it was an easy one for me to get. The payload of it is pretty high still, so it supports the weight of this 4D. I wanted something quick in the backcountry setting this up, so it's just a simple Manfrotto plate. It just slides in there and then a lock on there. So that's a big reason why I have the safety cable as well, just in case that this thing decides to slide around or move around or whatever. So this is the DJI high bright monitor system. I've got the high gain antennas on here. The reason I use these in the mountains, it's just to give me a little bit extra range. The big thing about the high gain antennas is they're very directional. So the antennas that come with the transmission system, they're a little bit more of an omnidirectional antenna. So depending on what your use case is there, that's the antennas you would want to stick with. So for my use case, and if somebody's dual operating for me, I just make sure I let them know to constantly be directing themselves with the high bright monitor and antennas at me where the system is. So that'll just give us a lot more fluid transmission. It says we're good to go.
I wish my life was that easy.
Now I'm stable.
I'm just double checking here the lens calibration as well as just gimbal settings. Perfect, we're looking good. All right, let's go try this. We're switching over to the Flex system now. So the reason I'm going to be using that, we're going to be doing some climbing through the trees here with our athletes, and we've got fresh snow, so I shouldn't necessarily need the 4th axis of stabilization. Let me just show you how I break this down. So I'm going to take the top handle off to start, make sure I save my screws. The goal is to just make the 4D brain as small as possible so it can fit in my backpack, because the Flex system is set up with just a cable. We're just detaching the head of the camera and it will be mounted on the end of my follow cam, and the other side is just connected straight to where the head normally connects onto the brain. So this is the Flex system. I've shot without the joystick attachments before, just to kind of lighten it up. I don't need them, but I've put them back on. For one, I can use the GPS unit still, so I just attach that same mount to the right joystick for GPS. Pretty awesome benefit to the Flex is you can mount the monitor that comes with the 4D just straight onto here. So me as a rider, I have full visual of my frame. I can also, it's touchscreen, so I can also change my camera parameters around. Just double checking the second operator, the dual operators, kind of got everything situated as what I would like to see. So the mount for the Flex here, it's the same mount system, just with a little Manfrotto plate. Goes straight onto the Tilta vibration dampener. What I'm gonna do here is actually take the head of the camera off right now and just get it onto the Flex. There we go. Obviously make sure it's tight and locked off. So here's our brain. I'm just gonna make sure that the 4D axis is just locked off, so it's not moving around in my pack. So the other end of the 4D Flex just kind of goes in here, just like the head of the camera, clicks in. You just got to make sure it's tightened down. And then we've got the monitor cable, so make sure that that's plugged in as well. Okay, I'm gonna take my right joystick little adapter off, plug it into the 4D Flex here. This is this way, so we're gonna go on the right side. Attach the GPS cable, and I'm gonna put the monitor on there as well.
What'd you guys build?
A snowman.
We're pretty much set up here. I'm gonna just get the backpack on and stuff, but one thing I did want to mention was when I toss the brain into the backpack like this, I try to like make sure that this is like open a little bit because it gets pretty dang hot. So I just want to make sure that it's got a little bit of airflow and heat can escape. So that's one thing to take note for sure.
Calling your name.
Mango
Dry mango? So
on the mountain. Dry mango on the mountain.
Would you like some?
Oh, I'm good, thanks so.
So the biggest problem with the Flex, or anyways the way that I have it set up, is it's just flat mounted right now. So any case where I'm tilting down, if you'll notice the LiDAR system, it can bottom out on itself there. So that really messes up the gimbal movements. So right now in our certain circumstance, we're just gonna climb through the trees. So ideally I'm gonna probably be going up most of the time. And in that case, I think we're gonna work, like it's gonna work properly. But so we're just discussing our line choice. Me and one of the riders or two of the riders, we're gonna go down to the bottom. We're gonna get a visual on our lines. And yeah, ideally we're gonna just pick a line specifically for me that's kind of straightforward, not super technical. And hopefully the rider beside me can pick a little bit more technical of a line, make it look a little more aggressive. We're gonna go do that while we wait for the sun. Oh yeah, that was good fun.
Yeah.
You're cruising up there.
You guys are ripping, man.
Yeah. I was just held to the bar. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not running a naturally aspirated sled, so no turbo, that means. And he's just catching up to me so fast. Okay, guys. Well, that's a wrap for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to check out more stuff, me just out here playing with cameras, pretty much. We'll be out here testing lots throughout the summer and the winter. So please like, subscribe, and check out my Instagram as well.